With the whip of the whisk and the flick of the wrist, Caleb the cook learns to make a new dish.
All right, bro. We got it.
My fault,
You were
bro. I was
doing
trying
good.
to
You were
spice
doing
it
good.
up
I'll
on
give
my
it to
Dr.
you.
Seuss. Carry on.
All right, this episode, I'm learning what it means to be a chef with my friend Josh, the owner of North's Ice Cream. Knowing how to cook is an underrated skill, and it's really a practical skill. But a good cook doesn't come from being able to follow a recipe perfectly, but from being able to work with the ingredients you have well. You can teach the skills to learn how to cook, but to be a good cook, you have to keep cooking. To display these skills and display what I learned from Josh, I'm going to cook for my friends at a Christmas style party, and they're going to judge me, tell me how they feel about what I cooked. And it's really going to display what I learned about cooking and the intuition you get from being a cook. Alright, so Josh is going to show me how to cook a variety of dishes. Turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, mac and cheese, and pie. But first, we're going to start with the turkey.
So essentially, the real nerdy cooking stuff is when you cook a protein, you're gonna have what's called the Maillard reaction, which is the browning of the meat.
Okay. Maillard reaction.
And you can do it if your meat isn't like completely dry, but if you have your meat like bone dry when you sear it, you'll have a beautiful crust every time, guaranteed. So the idea is a lot of cooking is based on aromatics and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Herbs provide flavor even if they're not in the food directly, but by cooking them in the pan with the turkey and the butter and everything, it'll make like this great smell, and then like we'll drizzle it over. It adds a little fat to keep it moist still, and
And that's what you mentioned with vibrational cooking, right? You want to define that?
so vibration cooking was a book written by one of the first black chefs in America, Verda May Grovinger, and it's her stories as a young black woman growing up in America, but also France, learning how to cook. She goes out, she tries a ton of different recipes. Baking is much more of a science than cooking is. They say cooking is the art and baking is a science. So it's a little bit more follow the recipe, but for soul food, it's soul food, baby. It's vibration cooking, right? A lot of the southern dishes that you make are thickened with this, and if you go out in the south and stuff like that, a lot of that land, a little history lesson, a lot of that land was colonized by the French.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of French influence. That's why when you go to like New Orleans, a lot of it is in French.
And so for the roux, where does this come into play with the mac and cheese?
It is the thickener
Okay.
in the mac and cheese. That much to start. Take it, whisk it. Really, like, this is like a crucial step. Like, you need everything to come together.
So far, Josh has shown me a lot of the value in cooking. The recipes mainly involve engaging my senses, activating memories, and being more creative rather than strictly following words on paper. That's what vibrational cooking is: cooking with feeling and displaying those feelings on the dish.
Alright, we saw how the pros did it. It's amateur hour now. Caleb gonna have to cook a 5-star gourmet meal with everything that Josh taught him. Let's see how he does.
How much different it is from
Josh's?
Josh's, and what do you think is the most hardest part about doing this by yourself without Josh's assistance?
Keeping track of things.
Yeah.
Josh is no, like he'll turn around, just no. Like he turned around, the pot was just ready.
Right.
But for me, it wasn't as much. It was more of like, oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, there's this too. All that other stuff.
Right.
So that was a little bit more difficult here.
Mm-hmm.
More of a challenge. But also, none of it looked like a challenge for him. So, you know?
Yeah, because, he's trained in that stuff. How much different is it from cooking for, this kind of scale of people? Is it a lot more, or is it just like, oh, I just have to put bigger servings and whatnot? Or do you think it's like you have to think about it more?
It's definitely the last two. Think about it more on the servings.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, like, cooking for one person is like, I can cook one thing, and I might not even cook a green or anything.
Right.
But now it's like I'm cooking a green. I'm cooking massive portions. Not massive portions, but it's massive relative to eating for one person.
Right.
So the proportions are a lot greater.
bigger.
Yeah.
That's true. But are you worried about presentation as much as you are the cuisine? Or
I'm worried about taste.
You're worried about taste, okay.
First it was make it edible. I
Right.
passed that stage.
Edible first.
And now it's now I'm trying to get a little bit past that.
Okay. And it looks like you sort of found your groove here towards the end. You
Yeah.
think that was kind of the way? Was it rocky at first? And then
It was
kinda-
definitely rocky. It was rocky like I was on the Alps, you know.
Okay.
But I found my footing.
You found your footing.
I found it was rocky
You
like
pulled
it was
through.
rocky like potato
Rocky
salad.
like Balboa.
Rocky like potato salad. Don't touch my hand.
Okay. Everything is looking great. Hopefully the taste is just as great as the looks. I'll be the judge of that, obviously.
Okay, Caleb. Okay, he throwing down in the kitchen. He think he good. Now it look good, but how do it taste? We just gonna have to see, really.
We'll all start with the mac and cheese. I'll start with the mac and cheese.
Okay. Sounds good.
Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead, dig in.
La, 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 la.
Smart's cheesing.
Wow.
What's wild?
Okay. So I'll go first. The flavor is very good. The cheese is very rich, deep with a lot of milk nuttiness. I can taste it. But I would say the texture is a little
Grainy.
Yeah, a little grainy.
It's like
A little
thick
grainy.
and runny at the same time.
Slightly runny. But again, the flavor kind of outweighs it. So I'll give it
Flavor's
a
there.
8.7.
Dry? Not dry?
Actually, very, very moist. Turkey tends to be a dry poultry.
That was the goal. No one wants a dry turkey. Words from Josh.
This is probably the first turkey I like that isn't dry at all. I ain't
Wow.
gonna lie.
I'm gonna be honest.
So I just made history right now? I just made history.
I don't know if it was intended, but you let us taste more of the meat instead of the heavy seasoning, which is good. If that's what you intended. But if it's not what you intended, there could have been some more seasoning.
Still the same outcome though.
Still good, still
Right.
good.
It's time for the green beans.
Green bean time.
Oh my god.
No.
Those are good.
Wow.
Those are good green beans.
Wow.
Those are really good green beans.
No.
You did
I
that.
want you to go first.
The flavor's there. I usually don't like green beans. They're cooked well. They're nice and soft. They're not mushy. They're just like a good soft texture.
dente.
Al dente. I like that. And the flavor's there. Like, it's hard to go wrong with green beans, but it's hard to go right with green beans. And you went right. I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. That's great. That's great.
Okay. I know what I'm giving this.
I don't.
A 7.7.
Okay.
I think the texture was good, the presentation was good, but yeah, I just needed a little more seasoning and flavor. That's kind of all I have.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
I'm a sweet potato pie connoisseur. And this hit the spot.
Wow.
This hit the spot. I'll give it a 10. Even with the sogginess at the bottom, I feel like it could have baked a little bit longer. Maybe it would have got rid of that, but
That's what it was.
but the crust, even the
No,
crust at the
remember, I
top,
took it out.
the crust at the top is still firm enough for me to at least incorporate some of the sweet potato into it and get a good bite with the ice cream. Even without the ice cream, I give it a solid 10.
I think the texture was a little bit soggy, but it wasn't enough to where it would like really hurt your score because the flavor was so good. I think in combination with the ice cream, it's a 9. I think on its own, it's probably like 8.7.
I'll take it.
But yeah, what really did it for me was the crust. But other than that, I think the flavor made up for it.
Wake up tomorrow with a stomach ache. I'm gonna recreate it.
And scene.
Food is really about feeling, and cooking as a hobby holds some of the most precious memories you can think of. Food isn't just nutrients or ingredients, it's love, memories, and life at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. Hey, thank you guys for joining us. You guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.